So after a pretty sensational sighting this morning of the wild dogs trotting along the bank of the Sand River and then playing around on the edge of the water, we were secretly hoping that they were going to cross through the water, which they didn't. They ended up settling down under some of the bushes behind us there. So we've come out this afternoon hoping that as it gets closer to sunset they end up crossing through the river with some awesome golden light. Nice open clear shot of them, 5 adults, 13 pups, all wading through the water. This section of the Sand River around Infested crossing is pretty shallow, so it's safe, it's easy for them to cross through. There's no real threat or risk of crocodiles, and if there is a crocodile around it's quite likely that they'll see it, so they often will use this area to cross. However, we've come out at the beginning of the afternoon drive to sit here and wait because we didn't want them to cross through the river while we're not here. Whilst we're waiting, there's a couple of black-winged stilts over there, 3-banded plovers, wood sandpipers, blacksmith lapwings that are all just cruising around, so we're keeping ourselves entertained with the big 600mm and hoping to get a few decent shots of that, which I think we have, all while we're just waiting for the dogs behind us there to get up and start moving. So it's a bit of a patience game, and thankfully we got a pretty awesome bit of scenery to enjoy while we're waiting. Fingers crossed we're in a bit of luck later on, but if not, at least we've spent an awesome afternoon out here having a bit of fun in the sun. So after a pretty long wait, you can see one of the adults is up there behind Jess's vehicle. The pups are starting to stir as well. So we've just reversed ourselves upstream a little bit to give us hopefully a pretty decent view, because if they cross, they're likely to cross downstream of us here close to the Infested crossing, because it's pretty shallow, but also when they get to the northern side it's easy for them to get out, whereas along here it's a pretty steep bank and they won't be able to get up once they get to that side. So fingers crossed that something happens pretty soon. Right, so as it stands now, all the pups have come down onto the beach. They're all looking quite intently at those vultures that have just landed in the distance there. So we're now hoping that the adults then come down, they get a little bit excited and then cross through the river. You can see the sun setting behind me over there. So eventually after some time the adults all came down, but they were pretty nervous and reluctant to go all the way through, and it took quite a bit of psyching themselves up before eventually they all started to venture into the water. So we basically had them running back and forth in the water, pups all banding together pretty closely around some of the adults. And then a few of the other adults positioning themselves a little bit further away, just to keep a watchful eye in case any crocodiles or any danger was lurking. And after some time they then did a little U-turn, came back past the vehicle. I was pretty bogged down and couldn't get myself to move too quickly in the vehicle, so I leapt into the back to go and try and get a shot over the spare tire at the back there of them in the distance with an awesome glow from the setting sun. And eventually they crossed right at the Finfoot crossing point there. They've now gone running off into the north, so we're not going to follow them now, we're going to let them be. But what a spectacular afternoon with these wild dogs, and eventually getting what we wanted with them crossing through the river. So we are super stoked, and I hope you are too. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more of these epic videos. We've got a lot more in the pipeline and coming soon. So cheers, thanks for watching, bye for now, ciao.